Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to Practice English Fast. I'm Sophia, and this is episode 3 of our IELTS Speaking Preparation series. Today, we're going to dive into some essential tips and strategies to help you not only ace your IELTS speaking test, but also speak confidently and naturally in any situation. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you never miss an episode of our IELTS series. All right, let's get started. So, first things first, let's talk about what the IELTS speaking test actually involves. The speaking section is a face-to-face interview with an examiner, and it's designed to assess your spoken English skills. It takes around 11 to 14 minutes, and it's divided into 3 parts. In Part 1, the examiner will introduce themselves and ask you some basic questions about familiar topics like your hometown, your hobbies, your work or studies, and so on. This is the easy part, where you don't have to worry too much. The goal here is to get comfortable with speaking and show that you can communicate in English. Now, in Part 2, things start to get a little more challenging. You'll be given a task card with a topic. You'll have 1 minute to prepare, and then you'll need to speak for about 1 to 2 minutes without interruption. While it might sound a bit intimidating, don't worry. I'll give you some tips on how to approach this in just a moment. Finally, in Part 3, the examiner will ask you more in-depth questions related to the topic in Part 2. These questions are more abstract, and they require you to express your opinions and ideas clearly. You'll have a conversation with the examiner, and your ability to expand on ideas and speak fluently will be tested. So that's the format. Now let's jump into the tips and strategies you can use to succeed. Before we get into the tips, it's important to know what kind of topics you're likely to face in your IELTS speaking test. In Part 1, you'll be asked questions about familiar topics, such as your family, hobbies, daily routines, and your hometown. The key here is to give detailed answers and expand on your ideas. Don't just say, "I like music." Explain why you like it, what kind of music you listen to, and how it makes you feel. In Part 2, the task card might ask you to describe a memorable event, your favorite holiday, or a person you admire. It's a good idea to practice describing various events and experiences in detail so you're ready for anything. And don't forget, you have 1 minute to prepare. Use that time wisely to organize your thoughts. In Part 3, the questions will be more complex and abstract. You may be asked about education systems, technology, social issues, or the environment. These questions are meant to test how well you can express and justify your opinions. You'll need to support your answers with examples and reasons. Let's talk about some essential tips that will help you perform well in your IELTS speaking test. Tip 1. Expand your answers. One common mistake I see many students make is giving short, one-word answers. If you're asked, "Do you like traveling?" don't just say, "Yes." Instead, say, "Yes, I love traveling. It's something I really enjoy because it gives me the chance to explore new places, meet different people, and try new foods. My last trip to Italy was amazing. I got to visit historic sites, enjoy delicious pasta, and experience the culture in a way that I'll never forget." Tip 2. Use a variety of vocabulary. Using a broad range of vocabulary is essential in the IELTS speaking test. If you keep using the same words over and over, it'll sound repetitive. So, try to avoid saying good or bad all the time. Use words like amazing, wonderful, terrible, or disappointing instead. And don't forget about phrasal verbs. They make you sound more natural and fluent. For example, instead of saying, I like to travel, you can say, I'm really into traveling. Tip 3. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. I know it sounds scary, but don't worry if you make a mistake during the test. The examiner isn't there to judge you harshly. They just want to see if you can communicate effectively in English. If you make a mistake, correct yourself and keep going. For example, if you say, I have went to the store, you can quickly say, oh, I meant I have gone to the store. Just keep talking, and your fluency will improve. Tip 4. Answer in full sentences. In the IELTS speaking test, the examiner expects you to speak in full sentences, not just answer with yes or no. For example, if you're asked, what kind of music do you like? Don't just say, pop music. Instead, say, I really enjoy pop music. I find it uplifting and energetic, which is why I listen to it when I'm working out. It makes me feel positive and motivated. Now, let's practice together. I'll give you a common IELTS speaking question, and I'll show you how to answer it in a way that uses all the tips we've covered. Here's a question. Describe your favorite holiday. A good answer would be, my favorite holiday is Christmas. It's a special time of year when my family comes together, and we celebrate by having a big meal and exchanging gifts. I love the feeling of togetherness during this time, and I really enjoy decorating the house with lights and ornaments. The thing I look forward to the most is spending quality time with my family, especially because we all live in different cities. See how that answer is expanded? I didn't just say I like Christmas. I talked about why I love it, what we do, and what makes it special. And that's how you should approach every Part 2 question, with details and explanations. Part 3 of the IELTS speaking test can be tricky because the questions are more abstract and require you to think critically. Let me show you how to handle these questions. For example, if you're asked, how do you think technology has impacted our lives? Don't just say, it's changed everything. You need to give a detailed answer with examples. A better response would be, technology has had a profound impact on our lives in many ways. For example, it has revolutionized the way we communicate. We can now connect with people from all over the world instantly through video calls, social media, and messaging apps. This has made it easier to maintain relationships, especially when family members live far away. On the other hand, technology has also had its downsides, like creating a dependency on devices and reducing face-to-face interactions. Remember to take a moment to think about your answer before speaking. Think about the different angles you can approach the question from and give a well-rounded response. To wrap up, here are a few final tips to keep in mind when preparing for your IELTS speaking test. Practice speaking regularly. The more you practice, the more confident you'll become. 2. Record yourself. This will help you identify areas where you can improve. 3. Focus on pronunciation. Speak clearly and at a steady pace. Don't rush your words. 4. Be yourself. Don't try to memorize answers. The examiner wants to hear your natural voice. All right, that's all for today's episode. I hope these tips and strategies help you feel more prepared for your IELTS speaking test. If you have any questions or need more advice, drop a comment below, and I'll be happy to help. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to practice English fast for more IELTS tips in the next episode. Good luck with your preparation, and I'll see you next time.